that moved to Fresno, California when she was approximately 5 years old. Like most Hmong families during that time, Judge Lor came from humble beginnings and faced numerous life obstacles, including growing up poor and becoming a single mother. Despite the challenges, she attended UC Davis for her undergraduate degree and obtained her Juris Doctorate from the San Joaquin College of Law. In August 22, Judge Lor was appointed to the Fresno County Superior Court by Governor Gavin Newsom. This historic appointment makes her the first Hmong female judge of California and the first Asian female judge to join the Fresno County bench. Prior to her appointment, Judge Lor worked for Central California Legal Services from 2010 to 2013. In 2013, she went into private practice and also served as an immigration attorney for the Fresno Center and a contract attorney for the city of Fresno. Judge Lor understands the significance of her appointment. She hopes to inspire others to never give up on their aspirations and goals. She will continue to mentor and speak about her experiences when others doubted her or she encountered failure. Judge Lor used this as fuel to motivate her. She believes that the only way to succeed is to embrace and learn from your failed efforts and mistakes. Please help me welcome Judge PaYengXa Lor.
High school, can you raise your hands, please? If you're in high school, I think I saw a big group from Edison earlier, but I really want to speak to the high school students. So I'm used to coming into a courtroom and nobody wants to say anything because they're really afraid. So today when I come out here, it makes me a little bit anxious when I hear the noise. So if you could please just keep the volume down so I'm not so anxious. แต่เราคุยกับคนในตรงไทยนะในทอดสีผู้ให้มีการของคนจะคนนอนเราจะต้องห้องไหนในทอดสีอ๋อ I want to start by thanking the organizers of this event and more importantly Dr. PaYengXa Lor for inviting me to speak tonight. I am honored ใน海南岛其中ในคนผู้ชัดชัยนะพี่ครับHãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ những video hấp dẫn. So if we can keep the volume down just a little bit, again, it gets very hard for me to speak when I can't hear myself. I feel like I need my gavel. Judge Lo, do you have your gavel? Okay. I am honored to take part in this educational benefit alongside some very impressive and inspiring individuals. Some of those individuals have shattered glass ceilings. Judge Paul Lowe, the first Hmong American attorney and the first Hmong judge in all of the United States. And I believe in the entire world. Judge Lowe, if you could just stand so we can recognize you. Breaking glass ceilings, we have Gia Vane, female Hmong journalist, and we are honored to have her as our MC. Gia Vane. We have Deputy Superintendent Misty Herr, shattering glass ceilings. She is the top, highest, I believe, educator. I saw Misty earlier, I don't know if she's here. We also have PaYengXa, Miss Universe Laos, representing the Hmong community and the country of Laos. We are so proud of you. Dr. PaYengXa Lor, educator, and I want to pause, the first female Hmong clan leader. Not of the Zhang clan, but the Lors are very proud to have her as our clan leader. Please give a round of applause for Dr. Vicky Zhang. In August of 2022, Governor Gavin Newsom's office announced that I was appointed to the Fresno Superior Court bench. I serve as the first Hmong American woman judge for the state of California and the first Asian female judge for the Fresno Superior Court. By the way, for our wonderful friends of the Lauj community, the first Lauj female judge was appointed in Oregon in 2021. Judge Chapone, Sally was helping me with it, Silapase, the first Laos judge in the United States. Please give a round of applause for her. Let me share with you my journey to the bench and the application process so you will understand the steps it took to get my appointment and how important it is that I give back to the community by sharing my journey in hopes of inspiring others. Let me share with you my journey because as a community, you have traveled in my heart and inspired me every step of the way. In order to put in your application for a judicial appointment, you must be a licensed attorney for 10 years. You have to submit an application that calls for you to list all of your cases, your trials, and all of the work that you've done, including all of the attorneys that have opposed you. You have to answer a series of questions, and after you submit your application, you have to go through a series of interview process or interview questions, and then in addition to that, they send out a survey to the legal community to gather information about you. So when the official news came out, I cried. I cried because I was so happy. I cried for my parents, who growing up always put education first in our house. I cried for my Hmong community, who took part in a secret war from 1961 to 1975 that displaced thousands of families and became targeted and persecuted. I cried for individuals that were told over and over again that they would never amount to anything, or they needed to limit their dreams and be bound to the station in life they were born into. I cried for all of the young girls and young women who were told their worth was determined by how well they carried out domesticated duties, like keeping a house clean, cooking, and raising children. This is the moment I share with my community. PaYengXa, you are an inspiration. I have watched interviews where she has said over and over, I want young people, mainly young girls, to believe in their dreams. I hear that all the time in your speeches. She says, if you want it, you can dream it, you can make it possible. This is true, and I'm here to tell you, education is the key to unlocking the door to the endless and limitless possibilities that your life has to offer. What is it that you want? What is it that you want to become? Are you afraid that you are too young? Are you afraid that you are too old? There is no such thing, because if you are alive, if you have a pulse, if you are breathing, you can accomplish it. Maybe not tomorrow, but one day at a time, you can achieve your measure of success. Not someone else's measure of success, but your own measure of success. Throughout my life, my parents have always made education a priority. As Malcolm X stated, education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Growing up, my father worked odd jobs to support the family. At one time, he was a cook for a Chinese restaurant, and as part of his wages, we received reduced rent for the dilapidated house next door, where my siblings and I were still small enough to sleep on a queen-size bed. My father was a dreamer, and he embarked on many business ventures. Some succeeded, a lot failed. but he never gave up. My mother was a stay-at-home parent. Despite her limited education, she made sure we had home-cooked meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Our house was structured. We came home from school, we did homework, we played outside, we set the table, we washed dishes, and no TV. Saturdays, we went to the library to check out books, and that was our routine. My mother stayed up with us even when she did not know how to help us with our homework until we finished our homework every evening. As long as we are doing something to better ourselves, they were there to support us. When other families were reluctant to let their children go away for college, my parents encouraged me to go away. And I learned about adulting when I had to figure out how to put the electricity in my bill for the first time. When I was at UC Davis for undergraduate studies, my parents would visit me in the dorms and they would drop off frozen stuffed chicken wings and jars of bamboo. They bought me a rice cooker when I missed home, and I would warm up my chicken wings, and that's what I would have for comfort food. When other parents bought their children cars as a reward for graduating high school, I got a bike because it was UC Davis and it was a biking community. It was not until my second year of college that my dad dropped off a car, but it was a stick shift car, and I didn't know how to drive stick shift, and he handed me the keys and he said, if you want to drive, you have to learn how to drive stick shift. So I did. I became really good at driving stick shift because I took it to San Francisco and it started rolling down the hill, and I became really good at driving stick shift, but I didn't. And in law school, I became a single mother, and instead of being disappointed, my parents took me and my daughter, and if I wanted to attend study groups or I had a final, they were there to help. When I had to study for the bar exam, they took care of my daughter so I did not have to stress out about childcare. In addition to going to school, I want to talk to young folks and also those in here about the importance of volunteering, because I volunteered and joined different organizations. This is a way for me to develop skills and to give back to my community. In high school, I was an aide at an elementary school. My first job was with the summer youth program, scraping gum off desks, and later at the IRS. I tutored homeless students at Jane Addams Elementary. In college, I joined the Mom Student Union, and I helped organize an annual high school conference to promote higher education, because at that time, there were still only 10% of Hmong individuals who were attaining a higher education. In Sacramento, I ran a support group for Southeast Asian girls in elementary school who were struggling with their identity and with self-confidence issues. Much like me, they were trying to balance two competing cultures that put different demands and pressure on them. I helped a Hmong family navigate through the education process after their 14-year-old son was expelled. And even after I became an attorney, I continued to work with different groups. I joined the Asian Bar Association. I became a member of the PABA, an organization that is here, and they're dedicated to encouraging Asian Americans to get involved civically and socially in the community. I volunteered at the Fresno Center initially, and then later I became a staff attorney. At the core of the work and the things that I engaged in was one common thing: to encourage and educate others. I apologize, I have to fan myself. At any age, at any educational level, we have knowledge, whether it is knowledge of the world or knowledge attained through books and school. We offer something. We all have something to give. We all must share our experiences so that we can learn from each other. I encourage you to find something and someone to inspire you. Look at the accomplishments of a fellow Hmong woman, Dr. PaYengXa Lor, who would become the first clan leader of her husband's clan. Take in the significance of seeing Dr. Vicky at funerals with men standing at her side and behind her as she addresses the crowd. We've been to a lot of events where the men come up and they stand up on the stage. For the first time, we have a Hmong female clan leader with men standing at her side or behind her. How amazing is it when journalists like Chinu Her from Iowa, who is an anchor at Good Morning Iowa, can say, my role model is Giovanni. My son yesterday, when we went to a restaurant, ran into Misty Her. He's 9 years old, and he kept whispering, is that Misty Her? And I looked at him and said, how do you know Misty Her? And then when I was driving here to come to the event, my 9-year-old kept asking me, is Misty Her going to be at the event? And I said, how do you know Misty Her? became the first judge in the state of California, in all of the United States, who became a shining light for young attorneys like myself to look up to. For a young judge, I haven't even reached my first year to look up to, and that is Judge Paul Low, who is a light for all of us, for the Hmong community and the community in general. I will leave us with this. We cannot seek achievement for ourselves and forget about progress and prosperity for our community. This is my favorite quote from Cesar Chavez. Our ambitions must be broad enough to include the aspirations and needs of others for their sake and for our own. Inspire em bé chỉ muốn đến đến em bé chậm nông em bé chậm tốt sản của nó nó không khó đấy là em chỉ sáng nó không khó đấy là từ mua cho đi từ nhận lâu nó từ anti nó từ hậu nó từ whatever cũng từ nhớ nó là từ mua George Paulo từ mua Dr. Vicky bé sure là nhớ nó là bé của lúc tính cho chậm nhỏ giàu bé chậm luôn là chỉ bao là chỉ là nung bé nào cho họ lúc xí hay nó bé tốt cao cả bé chậm nhỏ cũng phải xé cả thơ là tàu ba bé chậm hay nên nung thế bé lúc community. So with that, thank you very much. Congratulations to my sister PaYengXa, and I wish everyone a happy evening. Thank you.